Welcome back, everybody, to Catching Up with Cassie J. Thank you for joining me for another review. We're going to get right into this Life After Lockup. I am so happy to do this review. Some people I'm happy to talk about, some people not so much. This first couple, not so much. It opened up with Cheryl and Josh finishing up with this whole scene with her being mad about his mom hitting her. If your mother is hitting your girlfriend, I don't see how this relationship is going to work. Nonetheless, they're going to still continue to try it. And you see him in the middle trying to figure out her side, her mom's side, his mom's side. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. I just feel like you just need to just move out like you said you were going to do and see if maybe you two won't be hitting each other, because I feel like that's the next concern. Can you two be in a relationship and not hit each other? So we get a little more insight into what really happened, what caused the fight, if you guys are really concerned, because I'm not. So the fight started because Cheryl's son spilled, you know the saying, crying over spilled milk? He spilled some water. And Josh's mom basically told him, hey, let's clean this up. Trying to help the 3-year-old establish a little bit of independence. I personally don't see anything wrong with that. I have nephews and I feel like I would have did the same thing. I mean, I'd have been like, come here, sweetie, come on, let's clean this up. And I would have helped him clean up his mess so that he can learn how to do it himself. And essentially, that's what his mom was trying to do. Cheryl felt like, you're overstepping your boundaries. I'll clean up my own son's mess. He don't need to clean it up. I'll do it. And they got into an argument over that. So you literally were fighting each other over spilled milk. Or in this case, water, juice, whatever. It's not that serious. So you were fighting. Then Cheryl starts to tell Josh, how can she tell me about how to raise my son and what to do with my child when she can't even keep her kids out of jail, out of prison? So that was a dig at you, sir, Josh. That is saying that you're raggedy, you're immature, you're the raggedy child that they can't keep out of jail. You, sir. You. You guys, I don't know how I can be with some, you're talking about me. You're calling me raggedy. But I guess you should know if you're raggedy or not. But you're in this woman's house still at the end of the day. And you're talking about her in this way while she's still within hearing distance. It's not like she done left the house and she doesn't know that you're talking about her. She's right there. She's still going back and forth from room to room. So she hears you talking about her. Had that been me, I would have told you, well, since I'm so raggedy and I can't keep my kids together, A, why is you with my raggedy son? And B, why is you still in my raggedy house? How about you get your raggedy self up and get out of my house? That's what you can do. That's what I would have told her. But it wasn't me. So, we're going to move right along to Lamar and Andre. So, they built this up to make it seem like this episode was going to be this really huge thing for Lamar and Andre. And I was here for it. I was here for the build-up. But it wasn't the case. This was not this big scene that I was waiting for. So, Lamar is still here. Him and Andrea are still not sleeping in the same bed. He's still on the couch. He's still in the doghouse. But they go and shop for sex toys. So we're sending a little bit of a mixed signal here. I know as a man, not personally I'm saying, but to men, they feel if we're going out shopping for sex toys, when we get home, I'm gonna send the kids off. The adults are gonna have a little playtime. Andrea was like, I know Lamar thinks that just because we out here in the store and we're shopping for these sex toys, that he's going to get a little nookie. But he's not. She said he's going to have to work for this. He's going to have to earn this stuff. So why are we getting the toys? What is the point? Nonetheless, they're in there shopping. Lamar's getting happy because he's thinking that this is going to be the day. Andrea makes this comment. So she's like, this is what you do. You use all these toys and it gets you to this level of ecstasy that makes you closer to Jesus. Okay. I don't think okay. I don't want to talk about Jesus during that time. Like I don't want to talk about the Lord. I don't want to be thinking about the Lord and at that time. In those moments, I don't want to be thinking about the Lord. Okay. I don't want to talk about Jesus while I'm in the sex store either. I just don't want to. But nevertheless, religion is it's a very principal foundation of her life. So she was thinking about Jesus when she was in that closet making that baby. Now, they're in there. She don't picked up a whip. Lamar was slapping her with it. She's like, no, you got to hit me harder. And he started slapping her harder. And she was like, yeah, that's nice. This is a freaky little couple when they're intimate, it seems. Now, they get home. And this, I guess, was the scene that it was supposed to be the big blow up, was because Andrea has invited her Mormon friends over to speak the word to Lamar, to get him to understand what it is to be a Mormon and why this religion, this would be good for him to convert. Lamar has already made up in his mind. He is not converting. He's already told Andrea he's not converting. He's already told her that he's not coming to Utah. He does not believe that the Mormon religion is for him, let alone for black people. He said that. He's insisted and he is standing on that. So it was a guy and two women that came. Now, I have to say this because this is important, I think, for proving the point of why he felt like this was not for him. It was all white people. So as they're sitting here talking to him, and the guy says he wanted to read a word from the Book of Mormon, Lamar was like, okay. Now when they first got there, Lamar offered them a beer. And they said, no, we don't want to partake in that at this time. Andrea was already a little upset when he said that because it was like, we don't drink. He was like, whatever. So the man reads the word and Lamar was like, oh, okay. And the other lady tries to, give her testimony. And Lamar was like, well, I'm going to tell you why. He reads his historical facts, was saying that black people were denied religion. They did not have access to religion for so long. And he was saying, I just don't feel like this is for us. This is not for my people. I don't want to be a part of that. And he was like, do you think that it is right for you to force religion on somebody else? And they were just telling him, well, we apologize. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to force this onto you. And he was like, this is what my wife is trying to do. Like, she's trying to force me to become a Mormon. And that's not what I want to do. And I understand that. And religion is something I think that with any relationship, it's something that you should discuss very early on, because if it's a principle in your life, it's not something that you're willing to budge on, you need to decide if this is going to be a breaking point, And if it is, then this relationship is probably not the one for you. And Andrea basically felt like she did not think that this was going to be a big deal for them. But I don't understand how she didn't. Because if her religion is like an essence of her life and her lifestyle, I don't see how she did not think that was going to affect her marriage. And it is. So, Lamar got upset. The other lady was trying to talk to him, and she like reached out and touched him. He was like, please don't touch me because I'm getting a little upset. I feel attacked. I'm feeling cornered. And somebody that's been in prison like he has, I can see he has some things that he has to deal with. But he overall just wasn't here for it. He was not here for the conversation. He did not want to hear any more testimonies from anybody. Andrea was trying, to give her testimony. He didn't want to hear any of it. He was like, I made up my mind. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespected. But I would like to respectfully remove myself from this Bible study because I am done. I do not see, even though I like Andrea and Lamar, I don't see how they're going to continue a relationship because I don't see either one of them budging on that. And it's like a core for them. It's a core principle for her. And I don't see how that's going to work. Plus, they live in 2 different states and they don't seem to want to budge on that either. Clint and Tracy. Clint goes and tells his mom that he's finally made his decision that he wants to bail Tracy out. His mother, of course, gets upset because she feels that you're going to pay $5,000 to get her out of jail. She's going to jump bail. She's going to leave and then you're going to be out $5,000. Clint says, no, I don't believe that. I think she's going to stay and she's going to go to her court date. His mother says, okay, let's say she does. Let's say she goes through and she goes to court. Then what? She goes to jail or she gets her sentence or she doesn't. Whatever happens, are you prepared to stand by her through this whole thing all over again? Clint's mother is just tired and she loves her son and she's just worried about him and just feels that overall this is just not the person for him. And he can do better and just doesn't want to see him go through this heartache again because he's already went through it once. And I understand that. When you see your child or someone you love just continues to bump their head or continue to go through something, you don't want to see it just continue to do the same thing over and over and over. So Clint goes and bails Tracy out. Tracy did not want the camera crew to come and film her when she was released. They came back 2 weeks later. You could see that she had gained some weight back because when we first seen her, she was going through an eating disorder. She was very, very skinny. And they talked to her about what is it that she wanted to do, like what was the plan, what was going forward. She said that she was not going to jump bail. She was going to stay. She was going to see her court date out, and she was ready to get help. And Clint was happy to hear that. I hope she was serious. I hope she does get help. And like I've been saying, I hope Clint does get help too, so that he is able to be the best him to help her through it because she's going to need all the support she can get. Marcelino and Brittany, they went to see their lawyer, Chris, because Brittany has decided that she is wanting to pursue a search for her first 2 kids. She has 2 kids that she had when she was very young, like 12, 13 years old. When she was out by herself, out on the streets. And she had to give them up because she went to jail and so on and so forth. The kids are 11 and 13 years old. The lawyer told her that it's going to be pretty hard because she lost them. Her rights were terminated. They said they can try to find the cases for those. I lost the word I'm looking for. They can try to find the cases for when she lost her rights and see if they can follow the trail. They said, but it's ultimately, if they do find the kids, up to the guardians, the parents, if they can establish any kind of communication with the kids. Marcelino is thinking about the bill that it's going to take to find them, because the first bill fighting for Giovanni, that was $30,000. And remember, Marcelino doesn't have a regular 9 to 5. He is a poker player. And he says right now he hasn't been really hitting on the poker tables. So he's thinking about, if we embark on this venture, I need to make sure that I'm going to be able to finance this, because he has to pay for everything. And as I was looking at Brittany, she has all these tattoos on her hands and everything else. So I was like, that's going to make it hard for you to get a job too. Not just your record, but your appearance is going to make it hard as well. I'm going to skip Megan, Michael, and Sarah for last. I'm going to go ahead and go to Angela and Tony. So Angela and Tony are back together. Angela is making it hard for Tony. Like, she's going to make him work to be back in the house and be back with her. She still has her ground rules for him. And the heat came on and made the door move. I was like, who's that? So Angela decided that she was going to go out with her friends. And understandable. You have every right to go out with your friends. But the problem was, Tony said, why can't I go? I want to go out. She was like, no, you're going to stay home. Like he was a little kid on punishment. You're going to stay home. You don't get to go out. So, of course, he got upset, and he was just like, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I don't even know if this is going to even be worth it if I got to stay under all these rules. I'm like, sir, you cheated. Like, you should be glad that you even got a second chance. Nonetheless, Angela goes out with her sister, her other friend, and I forgot her guy friend's name. They were all just basically like, you could do better than Tony. Why are you even still entertaining him? How does he know how long you're going to be out? And she was like, no, he doesn't know how long I'm going to be out. I just told him I'm going to be out with you guys for a little while. So her sister said, you should give him a taste of his own medicine. Tell him that you're not coming home tonight. You should come home with me and just see if he still follows your rules. I thought it was a great idea. I think that that was a great test, and it's a shame that you have to test this man. That should be a sign in itself that if you're having to test him and clock him and check him and so on and so forth, that you shouldn't be in a relationship. Because while she's at the table, she pulls out her phone and she's over here. They said, what are you doing? She was like, oh, I'm just tracking him. I have a tracker on his phone. So you're tracking him to make sure he's where he say he is. That's just too much work to be in a relationship. You know, you checking mileages on cars and stuff. That's just too much. Just like a second job. I don't have time for it. Angela decides that no, she's not going to do it. She's just going to go ahead and go home. But when she pulls up to the house, she sits outside across the street and she does a little stakeout. She calls Tony and she's like, yeah, I'm just too tired. You know, we've had a good time. I'm just going to stay at my sister's house. And he was like, well, okay, see you in the morning. So she's basically wanting to see if he's going to come out. So we'll find out next week if he comes out. I'm thinking he's going to come out the house and go somewhere. And she probably going to follow him and see where he goes. I think he's going to come out the house. Now, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. It starts with Megan working out with B. B is cut up. He was coming with his little tank on. He had his little arms out and stuff. I'm like, okay, B been out here getting it in Texas. B is a good friend. B is a real friend. B told her, you need to let Michael go. Listen, B is not here for Michael. He does not like Michael amongst other people who don't like him and is not here for him. So as they're walking, getting their little workout on, he was like, so how was the rest of Michael's visit? Megan let him know, yeah, we talked. He let me know that he was seeing other people. B was like, oh, okay. Because to him, it's like, this isn't registering to me. Like, if he told you he's seeing other people. Why were you even continuing to have conversation? Why was there anything else to talk about at that point? She was like, well, I just told him that he got to cut that off if we gonna be together. But y'all haven't talked in 3 weeks since he's left. It's been 3 weeks since you talked to him. So she just needs to go ahead and wrap that up. It's over. I don't see how you're in a relationship with somebody and you haven't talked to them in 3 weeks. So when he was here, he told you he was talking to other girls. Now he gone and he ain't talked to you. Okay. So we move on to Michael going to New York to see his daughters. He brings his new girlfriend, Maria. Maria, I guess it's going to be Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Maria. Or I don't know if we're going to drop Megan off and replace her with Maria. I don't know. But Maria basically is very confident in her relationship with Michael because she's in a relationship with Michael. She says that Sarah is just his wife on paper, but she is his wife emotionally. She's very happy that he's cut that stuff off with Megan, so she really thinks that them two women are out of the picture, and she's the only one. She's dumb. They go to the hotel, they check in. He lets her know that he was going to go see his pretty girls. That's what he called his daughters, his pretty girls. And she said, okay, well, when you leave, make sure we keep constant communication. Do not cut off communication with me. So you giving him rules, and I thought he didn't like rules. But he was like, okay, well, you jump in the shower, so when I get back, we can... Okay, I see what this relationship is. So Michael said the reason why he likes Maria is because Maria lets him be free, and she understands him. So when he says he wants to have a threesome, she's ready for it and open to it. Okay, so she just lets you do what you want to do. Got it. You don't want nobody to tie you down, hold you down, and keep you... You don't want to... You just don't want to. That's it. You just don't. So when Michael shows up to the house, his oldest daughter, Aviana, she just bursts out into tears and starts crying and runs to her mom. Like, she's afraid of her dad. And I was confused at first, because at first I thought she was crying like tears of joy, like she was so happy to see him. But then I realized she ran away. And I was like, why is she running away from her dad? And Sarah was like, what's wrong? It's okay. You can go to him. You can talk to him. No, she is scared because she said that she was afraid that he was going to take her. Michael was confused too. Now, he's holding his daughter, Raina. And he was like, what's wrong, pretty girl? What's wrong, Aviana? Aviana only knows this because you've probably been talking about this to your friends and she's overheard her. So you got to be careful what you say around kids because they pick up everything. They little sponges. They pick up everything. So she don't heard you talking to your friends saying, I'm going to make sure that Michael can't just come and take these girls from me whenever he wants to. He ain't going to just take the girl and just take them away from me. So she don't heard that. So now she see her dad and that's what she's thinking. Mama said that daddy going to come and take us away. And I don't want him to take me from mama. So now the little girl is scared. Now, granted, Michael, you are at fault for this because if you would have been around your kids more often, this would never happen. But Sarah, you also got to be careful what you say around your kids. So slowly but surely, Aviana starts to warm up to her dad. And it's crazy to hear you say that, warm up to your dad. She's a child. But she had already told her mom to call her grandma because she wanted to go see her grandma. And Aviana made the comment. She said, Mommy, I'm getting used to him. That is crazy. And he didn't even respond to it. Like, he didn't say it hurt me. I feel some kind of way. Like, it didn't even bother him. It was just like, he just went along with it. Like, I'm playing with my daughter. You're a sorry ass dad. You're a sorry ass man. Just sorry. And you're a poor representation. Disgusting. So Aviana's grandmother shows up and Aviana leaves. And Sarah and Michael go in the house and talk. Sarah was pretty much like, Aviana's gone now, so you can leave too. Why are you still here? So he wants to discuss when can he get the girls. Sarah was like, basically kind of like, never. Like, you can't just show up one day after being gone all this time and then start making demands. And Michael's over here in his little, interview talking about how he knows his rights as a father. You have to be a father to get some rights, Michael. You haven't been a father, so you don't have any motherfucking rights. You don't. It disgusts me when men play not even a part-time dad, but then start demanding, I have rights. You're not paying for anything. You're not spending or putting in any time. But then you're going to say, I know my rights. I have rights. You don't have rights. That leads them to the conversation of, well, where are you going to be staying? Because you can't stay here. He's like, that's fine. I have a hotel room. Sarah, I can't tell you when to cut off your feelings because that's totally on you. You're in control of your feelings. But you shouldn't be concerned about who he's with. You got to move on too. Oh, well, who are you with? Did you come by yourself? As far as the girls being around somebody, that's completely understandable. You do want to control who your kids are around, but that wasn't your reason for asking. You wanted to know for yourself. Who do you have here? So they argue about that. She was like, did you bring somebody? Who is here? Was it Megan? And that's where it left off. Don't be concerned about what he got going on in his life unless it impacts those children. You gotta let that go. Let that man go as far as a emotional, romantic attachment. All you two need to be focused on is those kids and those kids only. If he does not want to be the father he needs to be, then you go down there and make him be at least the father you can make him be, that you have the power to make him be. The courts can make him be a dad. The courts can put him on child support. And unfortunately, if he don't pay, yes, he will end up back in jail. But the thing is, because he's not here anyway, it's not like they're going to be missing anything. So, yeah. I'm just over Michael. I'm so sick of him. I'm going to continue to be sick of him. He's just a raggedy man. Blech. So, other than that, I was just happy about the show overall. These couples is just... Next week, we're going to see Lacey, Shane, and John in their mess. So, until next time, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye, you guys.